Hello and welcome back to this special on Corporal Ryan Garza, United States Marine Corps. Folks, this is the first time I have had to do a part two because this man deserves all the time that we need to tell his story effectively and honorably the way that it deserves to be told. And I did not want to hurry up that interview. So we had to we had to relaunch a new broadcast, and this is going to be part two. And I wanted to just have an open conversation now with you, Ryan. What really got into the pen? To you making these pens, and how does it make you feel? Like you were talking about. We took something that was trash, right? Right? It was trash. It was broken. It was a remnant, and that stands out to me because that was almost like how you were feeling about yourself, right? About your life. And here you are now, you've got something in your hands that you could hold and shape and mold into and actually give life to through your own creativity. I mean, this hobby of yours it's fascinating. Share it with us.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is I had lost so many friends back to back. I mean, people used to tell me, they're like, this is unreal. Like, I've never met anybody who's lost so many people. And so it really messed me up. And my routine was literally, once I found out someone took their life or OD'd or anything like that, I went straight to the liquor store, bought a half gallon of vodka, and I would drink it all without a doubt. And sometimes I would do it unconsciously. I would just, someone died, boom, my body just walks over to the liquor store, gets it, comes back, I drink it, and then I'm just in hell. So one day, whenever I kind of started working with these and I remembered how I had to focus and all that stuff, one of my Marines from my fourth tour had taken his life. And my body was just like every other time. I was just like, I've got to go. My body is taking me to the liquor store. And I'm walking halfway there, and something just snapped in me to where I was thinking about the pins, but it just wasn't enough. So I was just like, okay, I got to do a good deed. Or I felt like I needed to do a good deed to try to, take that away. And so I went back and I had a bunch of stuff I was going to sell to get money, because it's hard to, at the time I was living alone. So it was hard to live alone in Colorado. So I was doing that, going to sell it. And instead I grabbed it all, boxed it up, went over to Goodwill, and I donated it, because I was like, you know what, there could be a happy kid that just wants to go in there and they could find exactly, brand new stuff. And so I donated it, and then I went back home and made a plate and then gave it to a homeless man. And then automatically, just seeing the thank or the gratitude and all that stuff, it lifted me up a bit. And so then I was just like, okay, now I'm good enough to where I could focus on the pins. So those two good deeds helped me get back to where I could actually focus on the pins. And then, even though my mind was still a little jacked up, I was well enough to focus and get those 5 steps down. So while I'm working on the pin, I'm slowly focused strictly on that and not about all the bad things in life. And that was the very first time that I was able to deal with a suicide and not have a single drink. And so that's when I was like, this is powerful stuff. And that's why at the time I called it, shaping your day into something beautiful, because it could be that mistake. It could be that crack. But if you just keep working at it and you try hard and you do something good to give back, then that could just lift you just enough to get you where you need to be to make something great. And the thought about the good deeds kind of came from something that happened after I witnessed my friend take his life, because it was about giving back to feel better. And I had a bunch of people asking me if I want to spend Thanksgiving with them and stuff. I had just lost them in October. So I didn't want to be that guy at these Thanksgiving, and everyone feels sorry for me and giving me hugs. And I appreciated so much them asking me, but I just
Mhm.
didn't want to be the kind of the downer. And so I was
Mhm.
like, no, I'm going to spend it by myself. And I don't know if you're familiar with Golden Corral, the buffet place. I was like, I'll just go to Golden Corral. So I'm sitting there in line. My eyes are just heavy as can be. I'm trying so hard not to cry. I feel like this is the first time I'm alone on Thanksgiving, and I just don't know what to do. I felt like my life was falling apart. And we're getting closer because Thanksgiving, the line's huge. And this lady was like, "Are you by yourself?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Well, here, I want to give you my free coupon thing or whatever." And I said no at first, but she's like, "Please let me do this for you and thank you for your service." So I said, "Okay." Still, like, I'm giving everything I've got not to just burst out in tears. I mean, they're waiting to come out, and I'm holding it together. And I remember going and sitting at a table, and it was in a section to where I was in the very middle, and there's tables all around me, and I'm looking out towards the buffet. There's people to the side of me, behind me, and right off in front of me. And I remember as I'm eating, I looked up and I saw laughter. And then I
Mhm.
looked in this direction, I saw love. And then and it was almost like everything kind of just went in slow mo. Like I could almost hear their heartbeats. I could hear the clinging of their silverware. I could feel their love. I could feel their joy and happiness. And it started lifting me up. And it gave me this, something about Thanksgiving from then on kind of meant something to me. So then that next Thanksgiving, the next year, I was like, I got to do something. So, or no, the next year is more in my head. The following year, I think more in my head. And then finally, I was like, I got to do something. I saw this homeless man on the side of the road, and he just looked defeated. He looked beaten. He just looked weak. He didn't have the strength enough to even hold up a cardboard to ask for money. And I went up to him and I gave him $10 and to get some food and stuff like that on Thanksgiving. And I saw that light in him that, oh my God, this isn't over. And my mentality is if I left, even though it's a very small possibility, there's a tiny chance that guy was about to take his life or he was about to do something. And maybe that gave him that much hope to survive another day. So that lifted me up. And then the next Thanksgiving, I was like, well, I'm going to kind of make plates for the homeless. And I've only told a few people about this. I explained it in my book, but I never posted it because I kept it to myself for the most part. But so I went and I was going to get a turkey, and I was going
Mhm.
to make plates and give them turkeys. And then I felt the weight lifting off of me, and I was like, "Damn, you know what? I'm going to get a ham too." And then the weight started coming more off, and then I was like, "Man, I'm going to get another turkey, ham, sides, desserts, all this stuff." And so I'm in my apartment, and I made over 100 plates. My back was killing me. I was because it's not like I could just put it on a plate, set that aside, put it on a plate. No, I had to go through each plate one by one with the turkey, the ham, the sides, and the dessert. And I'm just the most excited person in the world. Even though my back was hurt, my neck, my knees, I just felt like an old man, but I was an old man smiling. And I just had that joy, and all the terrible, dark things in my life started to wash away. And I ended up making over 100 plates. I went out there and started giving them. I mean, and there was this one group. It was I would say about 15 homeless people by these dumpsters. And I remember driving up, and I saw fear in a couple of their eyes. Like, oh my God,
Mhm.
almost as if they are used to people spitting at them, throwing stuff at them, treating them like shit. I mean, just treating them bad altogether. And the lights that were shining on them, I saw that fear. So I turned real slowly. I got out and I was like, "Hey guys, how you doing? Happy Thanksgiving. Are y'all hungry? I got some plates and stuff like that." And it was
Mhm.
almost like there were a few of them were in shock, like they've never seen this before. This has never happened. They've never got that little piece of love that the world owes them because I mean, some of them are the greatest guys in the world. They just bad things happened, and some people just prefer it that way. But the
Mhm.
thing is, seeing that hope just gave me more hope for life, and so I give it all to him, and I'm feeling like I'm on top of the world. I get back to my truck, and the very same guy that looked like he was the most scared of the entire thing came back and he said, "Hey, would you mind if I get another plate for my friend?" There was this guy kind of standing alone, looking off out of nowhere, and he said he's blind, and so I said absolutely, and I was like, you know what? And I gave him about 5 extra plates, and I said, y'all enjoy, And it was at that moment where I realized this is going to be my yearly thing. This is what I'm going to do every single year. And last year it was amazing because my family actually came up and participated with me. And one of the times my sister and I got out while my mom stayed in the truck, and because I wanted her to see what it was like, and I wanted her to feel that feeling. And I gave them some plates, and they were just amazing. They were happy, gave me hugs. And then I was walking away, and one of the women was like, she goes, "Hey, you, come here." And she just, I mean, she was a tough lady. And at first, you know, my instinct is like, you know, well, don't, what are you doing? You know, don't talk to me like that. But the situation, and everyone's still smiling and everything. I went over there with a smile, and she goes, "You know what?" She was like, "I had two sons that were in the military, and both of them were killed overseas. And that's what I came into this dark spot, and that's what, how I ended up homeless." And she was like, "Can I please give you a hug? Because it feels like I'm hugging my sons." And I said, "Absolutely." And my mom actually got a picture from a distance from in the truck of me hugging her. And my sister's off to the side trying not to cry. I'm trying not to cry. But it was great to be able to show my family what it does. And even that small little bit, like I say, even if these people, there could have been one of them that was ready to go, to ready to end this world. And just that little itty bitty bit of hope could have kept them going. And maybe she turned it around, and maybe now she's not homeless. I mean, maybe now she's doing great things to help other veterans in honor of her sons. And then this Thanksgiving, I am lucky. My girlfriend is going to be doing it with me this year, so I'm really excited to have her come along and feel the same feelings that I get from it. It's just going to be really great. And so that part of giving to the homeless was what kind of struck in my mind whenever I came up with shaping your day into something beautiful, because it's those good deeds that could lift you up, just show you just enough light to make it past that day, to make the impossible possible and fight another day.
You are impressive, Ryan. It's not every day where, again, I'm just doing this and this and you. How old are you?
35. I was getting mixed after 30 or 25. I just started forgetting my age, but I'm 35.
35.
Yeah.
You know, you have been through a lot in your life, and all of the traumatic events that you have been through and are associated with others going through is off the charts. I mean, it is the average person will not see anywhere near that. And then, let alone also have, you know, a leg amputated and serve 4 combat tours, you know, when our, you know, serving for our country overseas in a war, you know, and you are a hero. And there's something very special and very unique about you. And you got to glow. You got to glow about you. And, you know, and I think that glow and that smile is, you know, it's contagious. And I think the people that know you the most and that love you would probably agree with that, that you are a hero, and you are you've got some great traits about you. And I think one of the most awesomest things about this is that you have turned, you know, you know, all of this pain into a newfound purpose through your pens that really molds your day. Now, if I wanted a pen, excuse me, or if my neighbor or if somebody down the road, a friend, colleague wanted a pen, how can they get one of your personalized pens?
Well, my girlfriend and I, she makes pens too, and so we post it on Facebook or Instagram what we've made. Before I used to do more of the orders and stuff like that, but it got to a point to where it started taking away from the purpose, and the
Hmm.
purpose is for healing. And whenever it was more towards getting these things done in time and do it, it turned more into a job. So I stopped for a while, got back what what the purpose of making the pens were, and now I get to do it along my girlfriend's side, and so we make quite a few. I mean, we've made probably about 8 to 10 in the past week, if not more. And so we kind of, as we go, we'll post them, and then we kind of say which ones are sold, and every now and then, depending on how busy we are with the pens, we'll take some orders if they wanted a message on Facebook and say,
Hmm.
hey, this one we liked, but maybe in this color. And we do the best we can to make people happy, but at the end of the day, it's also our healing process, so we
Hmm.
make sure and keep it not overwhelming, and but still make some incredible art that's life changing for the both of us.
Absolutely, and the pins are truly remarkable, and I've seen them online several times with the colors and the shapes and all that stuff that all gets tied into the pin. Now, would you consider that like therapy as well for you?
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because also, one of the steps in my book is move, like in
Hmm.
big letters, move, because you
Hmm.
get in that dark spot,
Yep.
and that's one of the big thing, and it's my final step. But
Hmm.
I've noticed that if I sit, no matter how comfortable I am in that spot, the second that darkness starts coming, or the evil in you, you've got to
Hmm.
move. You've got to do something, because the longer you sit there, the heavier your body is going to be, the darker it's going to get, and it's going to come to a point to where you're destroying yourself and you don't even know it. One day turns to
Absolutely.
3 days, 3 days turns to a week turns to a month. You haven't showered, you're a mess. And this helps me, even if there's nothing to do. I don't have work, I don't have job, I don't have, I've already been at the gym, I have nothing else. Well, oh my god, what am I going to do? It's not like that anymore. If I don't have anything to do, there could be a blizzard outside, there could be all kinds of crazy, nothing to do, I could get up and make my pens, because
Hmm.
regardless what I'm thinking of at that time, I'm doing something right, and I'm heading in
Hmm.
the right direction. And while I'm doing it, I'm like, I get to explain to people, this is the thing that's saving my life. So each of these pens, it's not just a pen, it's a key to life. It's something important that has changed my, or our whole world, because now it's not just about something to write with. It's, I'm doing this for someone out there, and while doing this is a life-changing event. And then I started naming the pins, and I kind of tell them what I was thinking at the time, why I named it this way. And for an example, well, here's some right here, and if you could see it.
Oh yeah.
And and we do a bunch of different ones, and this is the first one I ever made, Yahida. This is whenever I was teaching her. Yahida's my girlfriend. It's
That is awesome.
and yeah, and so but yeah, I realized that once I started giving them names and stuff, it made it more meaningful. And this one in particular, I called it Event Horizon, and it's after the movie, which is an insane movie where the ship kind of takes over your mind, knows your deepest fears. And it turns everything into evil. And so this would be that ship, your ship that has all that darkness, that knows your deepest secrets, your fears, and all that stuff. And with this pen, this is you taking control. For finally, once in your life, or once in my life, I was making this pen, and whenever I grip it, I'm finally in control of those deepest, darkest secrets. And by doing that, making this pen, I was thinking about those 5 steps to make it the perfect pen. And um and it's just, every single time when someone says, oh, I want this pen, or I want that, and they say the name, I also, we write on cards, and I explain that, this is how I wrote, this is how I felt, I thank them, and it even means more to me, because I have to give it more thought. And it just adds another step to the process of healing.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
You are a pioneer. You are truly going to change the world one pen at a time. There is no doubt in my military mind that you will. There's
Thank you.
something about you. You're special.
Well, it's funny. Growing up, my mom hated this in a way, but I always said, even as a kid, where at first, whenever I do something dangerous, she'd be like, "Be careful." I'm like, "Don't worry, I don't die." And because I would keep going through all this stuff, well, then I got to a point after all these, things that were happening. Even as a kid, I said, I know I do not want to die old, comfortable in my bed. When I die, I want to die saving someone's life. Now, growing up, I always thought that there's going to be a shooting or something, and I'm going to stop, or I'm going to jump in front of that bullet, or I'm going to pull people out, regardless if I die or not. I'm going to die saving someone's life. And I always thought about that, and I always felt like I was going to live alone. And then since I've been with Yahida and things are going good and stuff like that, and I'm doing this, I realized my whole life I was think I had the right thought, but it's a different outcome. Instead of me dying in a blaze of fire, if I could just save one life from motivational speaking or my book or these pens, if I could save one life, then that's a success. And so if that one life is saved, then I want to break the cycle. They say 22 a day. My goal is to break the cycle, drop that 22 number. That's nothing. We're going to get rid of it. And by doing that, it's a success. I'm saving someone's life, and I could still keep going. It doesn't have to be through a blaze of fire. It doesn't have to be a violent death. I could live my life doing the best I can to try to make the world a better place and give people hope and show them that it's there. You just got to keep fighting and keep searching, because that's exactly what I did, and I found it. Now I want to give back and show them what I went through and how I got out of it. And I mean, I still fight demons all the time, but I'm in a better place and I could handle them better. And it's just been quite an experience. And so the last chapter of my book is actually resources to vets or resources to other people. I give emails, numbers if possible, to all the different treatments that helped me, the different wounded warrior events, all these things, to where people could not only read my story, they could say, well, these things helped him. They helped him mentally. They helped him physically. He tried new things. He made the impossible possible. He's doing all that. So if it worked for him, maybe it could work for me. And so by giving those resources and showing how it helped me, I'm praying that there's veterans out there that could just try. And because I spent years in that deep, dark place because I didn't move. But if I could just show them and point them in that right direction, saying that these help me even a little bit, then that's a step in the right direction. Because after one trip, they'll see what they're capable of, and then they'll say, well, if I could do that, then I could do this. And that's where I started.
Exactly, and that's finding that passion as you speak. I'm sitting here shaking my head, because even though our traumatic experiences are different, I too lived a world of deep depression and anxiety, and completely locked myself in a room where I sat in a chair for years. And I understand that feeling, to just self-isolate, know that you're just a body and your soul has been sucked out of you, and you're doing everything you can to just make it through the day. And then I had one of those moments that you had, and I said, I'm going to start to get 1% better every single day. And sometimes it's just getting up out of my chair and walking to the freaking bathroom and back.
Move.
But it's the little things. It's getting up, and then it's going downstairs, and then standing on the front porch, and then smelling a flower, and then going to check the mail. It's the little things, and then all these little things, and before you know it, you're getting your life back on track, and you are reinventing yourself through purpose. You are recreating yourself through opportunity and through everything else that comes into your life And the way you have handled this again it's amazing. I mean, it's really nothing short of amazing, how you've handled this, and you've handled it with honor, the same way that you served your country, our grateful nation. And you have acquired so much wisdom over the years. I mean, just listening to your deep words and your deep thoughts about, I named this pen. And I didn't only name this pen, but I gave it a identity, if you will, because what I was thinking when I was making this pen is in this pen, and it's, here's the story that's included with this pen. That's deep, bro.
Thank you.
I mean, dude, that's deep, and I think it's amazing. I mean, again, here I'm stunned on everything that I'm hearing from you, from the good and the bad, and you've completely inspired me tonight, man. And motivated me. Definitely, you know, when people think they got it hard out there, or they've been through some hard stuff, and then you listen to a guy like Corporal Garza, and you're like, man, that guy's been through hell and back, but he's still here. He's getting 1% better every single day. He's doing the things in his life that matter, and that matter to him. He's with people that matter to him and that love you, and then surround you with all of the good things about life. You know what I mean? The peace, love, hope, joy, the gratitude. You know, that's all good and healthy things that a man needs in a relationship, especially somebody that's been through a lot of trauma. And I'm glad that everything's going well for you. And, you know, I just got a few more questions here for you, and then we could wrap this up, and we can carry on with our evenings. Because I know you're a very busy man, but again, with all the wisdom and all the knowledge that you've acquired over the years, what advice would you give to Corporal Garza today as a Marine?
There's a few things that I say all the time on a lot of my posts that really mean a lot to me, and it's what also pushes me. And in honor of my best friend Tim Lane, we would say keep hope alive. But the three that were my own were quitting isn't an option. It's tough, not impossible, and never end the fight. And I actually am making shirts for the book, and it has the disturbed earth on it with the American flag, and then never end the fight on the bottom.
All right, I need one of those.
Yep, absolutely. And also, we made a one for females. It's got the Valkyrie on the front that says Semper Fi, and then on the back,
look at that,
disturbed earth, never end the fight. And so those come very dearly to me, because that was me in the search. Whenever I say I gotta keep searching, people are counting my. Just remember that you're not alone, and just keep searching, because you know, now whenever I'm thinking all these things that happened to me were curses, now I see them as blessings, because now I'm able to get, for every bad thing that happens to me, I could relate to those who it's happened to them. So I can give back for every bad thing that has ever happened to me. Because a lot of times people don't want to hear from someone that don't understand. We go to mental health to someone who's never seen a bad day in their life. And it's like, well, I'm not going to tell you anything. All you're going to do is, you know, tell me the same thing every other doctor. But if you have someone who could actually relate and actually say, you know what, I've been there, and this is how I got out of it. This is what I did. We're going to have losses. We're going to have tragedies. We're going to have pain. We're going to think that this is the worst day of my life. We're going to hit rock bottom. But how many times have I said that? How many times I say this is the worst day of my life? How many times did I say this? I'm hitting rock bottom. I've said it my whole life. But now I'm sitting there thinking, you know, how many worse days of your life can there be, and how much can you take? Well, the thing is I've taken it all, and so after all these things I thought were curses, it made me the man I am today. And so I thank God that I was able to keep searching, and like I say, I never ended the fight. And it finally took me to a path where I finally could see that light at the end of the tunnel. And I know things are going to start getting better. And I know if I could just get words out and then get that book out whenever it finishes, and just to be able to help people the best I can, that made every single bad day of my life worth it.
You have turned negatives into positives. You are telling your story, and when people get that book and they get to know a little bit about who you are, not only as a Marine, but as a man, and they are going to be absolutely blown away, literally blown away. This
Well, thank
is
you very much.
Again, I'm a very I do have a sensitive side of me, and I'm a very genuine guy, by trade, but I also have that that tough guy mentality too, But I've got two daughters, I've got two sons, I've been married in almost 24 years, so I've got that sensitive side, I got that Marine side and all that. But really, at the end of the day, man, just hearing a story that's just so just unique, and to have you tell it in a way that's meaningful to a lot of people out there that are listening to this. And that's exactly why I started this podcast, is to have real everyday people listen to real everyday people. You're adding value, Ryan. This podcast, this show, this one right here, you tonight are going to add so much value to the lives of people out there that decide to watch this. And some of the things that you've said tonight are going to be relatable to those people. You're going to be talking directly to them tonight. And perhaps you may even save one of their lives tonight. So don't be surprised if you get a Facebook message saying thank you, or how can I get a pen? Because you are a light. You are a light in this dark world that we are living in.
It means the world to me, and I appreciate it very much.
Oh yeah, I mean, without a doubt. I mean, like you I mean, dude, you're a legend.
Thank you.
and and I mean that wholeheartedly, man. I mean that wholeheartedly.
Well, that means a lot to me.
Dude, dude, this is my 19th one. I just started doing this 2.5 weeks ago. God put this podcast in my heart. He said, look, I've been searching too. In 2016, when my life stopped, when I lost damn near everything, my livelihood, and, my business and everything, I've been searching so long and so many years to find out, what am I going to be again? What's this next chapter of my life going to be? I can't do the work I used to do because my body's broken. And I was struggling, for years and years and years, just struggling, dark places, man. And that wasn't me. Until one day I said, I got to get 1% better. And one thing that was therapeutic is when I did write my book. I wrote my book, and I had my book published last year. Again, different stories, different traumas, but the traumas will typically almost lead to the same destination. And that destination is a broken, anxiety-riddled state. And both of us were broken men at one time, and now we are here as signs of resilience and perseverance in remnants that people were going to throw away. Well, look at us now. We're survivors, okay? And the fight's not over. The fight's never over.
We never ended the fight.
Every day, there's a fight. Okay, because life isn't easy, and that's what a lot of these people think. Oh, I'm having, yeah, dude. Every day it's a battle. Every day it's a fight. You don't know what some days life is going to bring you. Butterflies, rainbows, and lemonade. And other days, it's going to bring you a whole pile of shit. And you're going to have to sift through it, man. And it's not easy to do, and it stinks, and it's hard. But
that's why I say it's tough, not impossible, and quitting is not an option.
Absolutely.
Every time I thought about that, and and pain just means you're alive. Keep rocking it, and the fact that we had never ended the fight put us here today, and and it's just incredible. Because you give me hope with everything, and I appreciate everything that you do, and the help, because just like stuff like this helps me too, because just knowing that I'm able to help in any way I can, it just makes things that much more worth it. And so I thank you for everything you do. You're incredible, and it's awesome to call you a brother and a fellow Marine.
No doubt, my brother, Corporal Ryan Garza. Thank you so much for being on our program today.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much as well. It means the world to us.
We sincerely appreciate everything you have done and continue to do, Ryan. Your service, sacrifice, and dedication to our great nation is truly honorable.
Thank you very much. Semper Fi.
For Tuesdays with Tally, this is Brian Tally. Good night, Semper Fi, and God bless.